Amy, what got you to take the job you took after you had 30 offers? What was the deciding factor?
There were actually two deciding factors. One is I wanted to work for a large company, a national firm, because my plan was kind of that I could get into the company and eventually, if I enjoyed the industry, eventually I wanted to run marketing for a national real estate firm, a national commercial real estate firm. So I kind of figured I'd have to start over in an industry to move up to where I used to be when I was in technology. So national was number one. And I was kind of between working with working in the office environment or working retail and working with retail clients like big box stores or mom and pop shops. And I was meeting with, you're familiar with Cold Stone Creamery?
Oh, yes. Okay. Familiar.
Great. So I was meeting with the person who runs real estate development for Cold Stone Creamery through a networking contact, because I figured if I got into retail brokerage and I had all these retail contacts of retailers, then I'd already have potential customers, right? So I was meeting with him, and one of the most important things I didn't want to do in retail was work with the mom and pops. I love people who have a passion, the person who styles hair who just decides to open their own shop. I think that's great, and it's very entrepreneurial, but I don't want to work with that person. I want to work with, Target and Walmart or people or Cold Stone who have multiple locations throughout the country. I'm a bigger scope kind of person. And the guy from Cold Stone said, where are you in your decision making? I said, I'm between office and retail. And I said, he said, wow, well, you know what's great about retail? I said, what's that? He goes, what's great about retail is you get to work with mostly the mom and pop shops. And I said, wow, you have no idea how much you've just helped me on my decision making. And right then I walked out the door and said, okay, I'm going office.
I hope you got some ice cream.
Lots of coupons. So
one final question for you, Molly. You said make a great first impression. What is the advice you can give to all of the people who are out there trying to network and make that great first impression? How do you do it?
I tell you, first of all, it's not only a great first impression, but it's a great lasting impression. And the key to a great first impression and great lasting impression is being a very positive person. When you're at a networking event, you meet someone for a first time, you don't stand there and say, hi, I'm Molly, I'm between jobs, I've been looking, if you know of any company hiring, can you help me? That's not a good first impression. You ask more questions. The Dale Carnegie, you get people to talk about themselves and they love you, right? So you take that same methodology in events, in networking, and you ask them questions about themselves. And you're interesting because you're interested. So you ask questions about them, get them talking, figure out whether you have some common interests, figure out who they might know, and you focus more on them and less on you. And that's the same actually with the interviews. When people are interviewing, if they focus less on themselves and more on the person they're interviewing with, they're going to be more likely to get offers. So it's about them, you, not me. And that's going to help create a great first and lasting impression. And, overall in the whole job search, one of the keys is to stay positive and stay motivated. You can't be a Debbie Downer. You have to be fantastic, interesting because you're interested and very positive, enthusiastic, someone fantastic that wants, people want to help, not someone who's kind of a pity party walking around with a cloud over their head. So one of the things that listeners might benefit from is I have a blog that it's just Molly's blog, and you can get to it from Executives Network, the website executivesnetwork.com, and that's executives with an S. And right on there on the front page is Molly's blog. But it's all kinds of tips, tricks, techniques of things that I learned in the job search, as well as things I've seen over the last 7 years of how people are doing it wrong and little, things to break the rules. I actually just finished a book, and it will be out, I think, next week. It's called The New Job Search. And it's break the rules, get connected, and get hired faster for the money you're worth.
Oh, great. Maybe we can have you back on and talk about the book.
Okay, great. But it's full of all the ways of all the things that I did of going from no offers to so many offers I didn't know what to do. Well, I did know what to do.
Molly, we've got to take a commercial break in a second, but just very briefly, the details of your executive session next week for our listeners, and thank you very much for being a guest on the show.
Okay, great. Executives Network, the meeting next Wednesday is June 3rd at Club Quarters, 111 West Adams in Chicago. It's for Director, VP, and C-level. So executive only, Director, VP, and C-level. And people can register, go onto our site, executivesnetwork.com, to register. The cost is $20 for premium members, and all others pay $30 online, and it's additional $5 at the door for same-day registration. And I'll be there, so I look forward to seeing people there.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Molly, and good luck opening up the East Coast.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Take care. Rock and roll.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, have a great day.
AM 1530.